What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Week 8 Sunday Night Football Showdown here on Sharp Sports Network. I'm your host, Joe Beaver, and I'm going to be breaking down this showdown slate between the Packers and the Chiefs. It's going to be an incredible game. I'm super excited to break this down with you guys. We are absolutely crushing the main slate right now. If you were in the live stream, we crushed it with plays like DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff, Ty Gurley's doing well, Chris Carson. So let's jump into this showdown slate here. So before we get into that, over here on Sharp Sports Network, we have a ton of apparel. Just want to plug this before we get into the breakdown. If you guys wouldn't mind checking some of these super cool designs out, copying you a shirt, that would be super appreciated here. It really shows us some support. So, with that being said, let's jump over here to DraftKings for this game. I think it's going to be a very straightforward slate. I'm only going to be doing a public breakdown because I don't think the private breakdown is needed. There will be a private cheat sheet. This is going to be a very straightforward slate. No Patrick Mahomes here. Devontae Adams is doubtful, probably won't play. So there's a few spots that I really want to target here, and I've created some pretty interesting lineups that I think are going to smash. Just like we did on the last showdown slate between the Vikings and the Redskins, we were overweight on the Vikings heavily, and I really want to be overweight on Green Bay here today. I don't think that Kansas City is going to be able to put up too many points. I know their defenses looked a little bit more stout. But before we get into this, I want to jump over to NFL Savant just to kind of give you guys a rundown of what we're looking with. So far last week, Aaron Rodgers did not have Devontae Adams, and the targets were pretty interesting. Aaron Jones received 5 targets, which is definitely something that we've seen in the past recent weeks, increase in targets with Devontae Adams off the field. Geronimo Allison, Jimmy Graham, Jamal Williams, Scantling took a decrease in targets, and then Alan Lazard as well, who is just an elite value play on this slate. So, same as red zone targets, Aaron Jones in there, Jimmy Graham, which is expected. But the rushes are pretty interesting. Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams got 0 rushes. Like, he barely got any. 3 rushes in last week's game. And Aaron Jones kind of just led the pack. So, I mean, the Raiders, I know they're not really a stout defense, but the Packers put up a pretty good fight. Aaron Rodgers went for 6 touchdowns. So, and he actually rushed 2 of them in. So, on the side of the Chiefs, after Matt Moore came in the game, it appeared to be the Tyreek Hill show for him. Travis Kelce still got a lot of love after Matt Moore left. So it's just kind of a breakdown here of last week's game. Red zone targets were all Travis Kelce. The only touchdown that Matt Moore had thrown was to Tyreek Hill. So I don't expect that to be the case this game. I think the Green Bay defense, just if we go ahead and take a look here, they're actually somewhat stout in certain areas. Total defense only allowing 19.9 points per game. They're allowing a good amount of pass defense, but in recent weeks they have, really stepped up the game as far as the secondary. So I'm really not looking at too many of these Kansas City players. But for me, captain spot, I know we've done this with the Packers early on in the year, but I'm going to go back to the well with Aaron Jones and captain. I think this is an incredible spot and a buy low spot actually for Aaron Jones at captain on these showdown slates. We paid $14,000, or no, I think it was $13,000, 12 or 13,000 price tag for him in captain. Earlier this year, he's only 9,200 and a flex position. I think you can get exactly the lineup that you want with Aaron Jones and captain as from what I've been building. Last week versus Oakland, he had 18.3 fantasy points, 12 attempts with 4 targets, 33 yards receiving and a touchdown. He had a 21-yard reception, which last time that we had Aaron Jones and captain, he had a chance for a 25-yard reception for a touchdown, and he ended up dropping it. So I think Aaron Jones at captain at 13.8 makes a lot of sense here. We have seen Aaron Jones in captain, I believe, like I said last time, I think he was at 18,000 because he was 13,000 in, he was in the upper 15 to 16, 17,000, somewhere in that range because we paid a lot for him, I remember. But we're getting a buy low spot at Aaron Jones with a ton of volume. Aaron Rodgers should be in every GPP and cash lineup. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be. So I think these twos are just a staple in all lineups. I think that you shouldn't really deviate from them. Now, on the side of Kansas City, I'm very interested in a buy low spot on 8,800 for Travis Kelce. This is super cheap. We have not seen Kelce under 9,000 in 4 weeks. So, for me, this is incredibly cheap for somebody like Travis Kelce. 8.8K. Matt Moore is going to be looking low towards the middle of the field where Travis Kelce shines. Between him and Tyreek Hill for GPPs, I think this is the only piece that I really want. I don't really have any confidence in Matt Moore. I think that for the most part, Kelsey's going to be his target, and that's really where I want to go. Now, the remaining Green Bay players that I have a lot of interest in, I don't have any interest in Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He's not really getting targeted anymore. He's been plagued with dropped passes. He's been kind of a deep threat man this year when we really thought this was going to be a breakout year for him, so it's kind of disappointing. So I'm really looking to get Jamal Williams in here as well. Jamal Williams or Jimmy Graham, I think that since coming back, he definitely plays a big part in the receiving game. I definitely want to double back on both Green Bay running backs here. I think this is a solid spot to really buy low on these guys. And then my last buy low spot is going to be Geronimo Allison. He's seeing an increase in targets over the past 4 weeks, averaging of 5.8 targets over the past 4 weeks. I think this is a great spot with increased targets and not a lot of option for Geronimo Allison to really slip into the slot and actually receive a decent amount of targets. Now you're left with 4.2K. You have a lot of options here. Damian Williams and Demarcus Robinson are definitely two very, very top viable options for me. But I would personally go with a kicker. I'm going to go with Harrison Butker or Mason Crosby. It doesn't matter either way. But for me, I think these 4 players for me are my favorites so far. I'm a big fan of Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers and Travis Kelce. Those are my 3 locks, the core 3. Jamal Williams and Geronimo Allison. Geronimo Allison is far too cheap at 4.8K, and Jamal Williams is in an incredible spot. So for DraftKings, that's kind of where I'm leaning. For GPPs, Aaron Rodgers at captain makes a lot of sense. It's a little expensive, so for me, if you wanted to be a little contrarian, somebody like Travis Kelce makes a lot of sense at captain for GPPs. Now over here on FanDuel, where things get a little interesting, Aaron Rodgers is only 16K. I think this is a great spot for Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. Tyreek Hill is priced very high. I definitely want a piece of Travis Kelce like we said before. Now, Jamal Williams is still priced the same, and you have 10K left, and you can build the exact same lineup, which we don't usually get the luxury of doing. I'm a big fan of this lineup here. Since it's on FanDuel, I would put Aaron Rodgers at captain. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a similar day to last week. Now, maybe not 6 touchdowns, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones are going to have quite the day. I think that these two should be a staple in all lineups, and that's how I see it being going forward. I don't really have any interest in anybody else but Travis Kelce from the Chiefs. So be on the lookout for the cheat sheet later on. If you are a member, I'm going to be doing a cheat sheet as well, and probably a live stream around 6:45 for 25-30 minutes just to get all your questions answered. So with that being said, hope everybody cashed today and continues to cash tonight. We are on an incredible streak, so let's continue this showdown by cashing out in all forms. Good luck to everybody today. If you're a member, start asking questions in the Discord. I'll be answering questions all the way up to lock. With that being said, good luck to everybody, and I will see you tomorrow for Monday night's game against the Dolphins, or with the Dolphins and the Steelers. Peace.